Hello and welcome to Rural Talks. Friends, today I'm super excited to welcome Mr. Sanjay Panigri, an FMCG expert on discussion on the evolution of rural markets and consumers. Friends, in past few months, all sectors have been impacted. FMCG still continues to be the fourth largest sector in Indian economy, surviving and possibly growing. But FMCG companies have miles to go to manage multiple challenges such as dispersed demand, rising competition, product innovation, attracting right talent, rising advertising costs, and so many numerous challenges they have to face. So, to give some of his views, we have Mr. Sanjay Panigri, first batch pass out from IRMA with 4 decades of rich experience in FMG sector, working with companies like Amul, Isahaj, Pidilite to speak to us. His passion for rural India has remained unabated and firm believer of process-centric approach to management and leadership. So not wasting much time, let me welcome Mr. Sanjay Panigiri to Rural Talks. So, Sanjay, there has been a question which has been asked by people. So, what should be the strategy for the smaller brands, which is MSME brands in the FMCG sector? Because the large players are playing their major role, right? Their presence is very high. So, what would you suggest for a smaller brand? How should be their strategy in the next 3 years to penetrate in these rural markets?
Very difficult question for me to answer. Very difficult question. FMCG space में आज के दिन पे एक नया ब्रांड बनाकर उसको आप खड़ा करना एक very big unless you are really talking about an innovative product with a very fine segmentation which the bigger players do not have. Making a me too product like a soap or and making yourself successful standing against a player, unless you are highly localized and providing that the kind of things that Ghadi detergent did, but Livers came back very strong. But it's a different point. They took time to come back strong, but River did come back strong, and they the way Ghadi tried to get into the on the price point, and subsequently on a very localized promotion in UP and Bihar and things like that in that particular bit. But it did create a business for itself. But I would say that if I were to come in the FMCG segment, I will think twice about my product and the segment where I am going to come, and be very clear in identifying, and rather not saying कि rural में बहुत बिकता है मैं बेच दूंगा, उसमें पैसा नहीं बनेगा साहब, और रिटेलर को ब्राइब करते करते आप थक जाएंगे. हर वक्त आप अगर बोलेंगे कि मेरा प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, सब अच्छा है, मेरा बिस्किट अच्छा है, आप इसका क्यों खाते हो, मेरा खाओ, अब मैं आपको 40% डिस्काउंट देता हूँ, वो 20% डिस्काउंट देता है. This game has been played in the past, and thanks or no thanks to globalization, the bigger brands are going to survive. That is the path the company has taken. The policies has been more on front, but so on that space, I would be very local, very local. I will think big but act small, spend my money wisely, and create a niche for myself, and trouble the bigger player in a smaller area, rather than getting it. And I'm extremely lucky. My product does very well, and I've created a segment. Then I will expand. But otherwise, going for all India kind of all India, or even a pan state or a pan 2 state or 3 states kind of a thing, you require a very deep pocket. And if you have a deep pocket, you are not a MSME, right?
So which means you're trying to say that if brands really want to get into, they need to have very focused strategy.
Very focused.
Huh. In the sense,
very focused, and please don't employ an MBA. Please don't employ an MBA in the sense all of us talk in the same quality. Will give you a plan for how to blow up 10 crores on a brand and things like that. Jokes apart, I'm saying is that think big, act locally, use native intelligence. That a diamond doesn't take tools and techniques which is available for the common man today, and my view will be that extremely circumspect about where you spend the money and how you want to, and don't think that the bigger players are going to stay. They are going to keep quiet if you launch a brand even in one corner. There are multiple competition in major FMCG categories. Multiple big players are there, and if you want to make a mark, be very sure. and please always say what I would not do.
Yes.
Don't say what I would do. I find most people, they say 100 suggestions that you should do this, you should do this, but you ask them, can you tell me what I should not do? You will find very few people will tell you what you should not do. What you should not do is very, very difficult. But in rural, first of all, decide what I will not do, because you have a resource constraint, not because you have less money. It's too vast. It's too vast. Geographical spread is very vast. Per capita, if you look at number of retail outlets, 6 lakh villages है. ठीक है, आपके पास 60 लाख दुकान है. अर्बन में सिर्फ 40 लाख दुकान है. 1 करोड़ दुकान होता है इंटर इंडिया में FMCG सब शॉप्स. बट 60 लाख दुकान है, 6 लाख विलेज भी तो है.
स्प्रेड भी बहुत ज्यादा है.
स्प्रेड भी आप ज्यादा है, तो आपको पैसा खर्चा करना है. पेट्रोल का दाम तो उतना ही है रूरल में जितना अर्बन में इतना. आदमी भेजने का है तो आदमी को स्पिलओवर भी आपका उतना ज्यादा होगा. तो ये सब करने के टाइम पे अगर आप इंटेलिजेंट है, रूरल में बहुत पैसा कमाएंगे. I have found some players who have been very intelligent. They have moved slowly and they really mint money. Some of the players in the banking sector, in the financial services sector, they say that, Sanjay, do you know our NPA in the rural area is lower than the NPAs in the urban area? So they have been very selective with that. Yes, and not only microfinance, even in housing finance. They say that in rural area, in terms of the selection of the kind of villages that we do, the selection of the household, the amount of work we do in terms of whom to give a loan, whom not to give a loan, and all that, it took us some months to understand. But once we have understood, we have been able to replicate that. But you know, one of the bane of rural marketing has been that we think it from an urban perspective and do lesser of what we do in urban area and rural.
Very right.
We possibly, there is an opportunity for us to look at rural as a market rather than saying is that urban में सब हो गया, अभी rural में चलते. Rural भी सारा जगह में एक साथ spread हो गया. मैं अगर rural marketing करूंगा तो मैं हर वक्त segmentation of my customer and segmentation of my physical geography, both I will do it very, very well. Unless I have the answer, I will not move into. Getting results in rural area is very easy. Getting result is very easy. बिकॉज आप जाओगे तो हाँ, रूरल में आप जाइए सर, ऑर्डर आपको मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. कोई आपको हाथ खाली छोड़ा नहीं पड़ेगा. उसके पास कोई पहुंचता ही नहीं है. उसको वही माल लेके जाने के लिए उसको शहर में जाना पड़ता है या दुकान हाथ पैर. तो उसको तो आप घर में जाके माल दे रहे हो तो खुशी है, लेकिन आपकी कॉस्ट क्या हुई? अब एबिटा लेवल पे कैलकुलेशन कीजिए. वही 100 रुपया कमाने के लिए अगर अर्बन में 40 का खर्चा हुआ, रूरल में 60 का खर्चा हो जाए. सो समडे सम सीईओ इज गोइंग टू आस्क, भैया ये क्या कर रहा है तू? टॉप लाइन तो लेके आ रहा है, घर पे पैसा नहीं बन रहा है. So then you start thinking, and that is why you suddenly find many companies go 5 steps forward, come back 3 steps backward, then go 5 steps forward. So this is called a Columbus, trying to suddenly go and say, "अरे भाई, आज बहुत बड़ा market है, servicing नहीं है." But the Columbus never thinks that there have been pre-Columbuses also, they have come. So I think digital has given us a huge way of finding answers to many of these questions. I think that is what digital has done, rather than looking at shorter way of saying that digitally I will be able to convince the media dark area मेरे digital penetration आज 51 करोड़. अभी एक इंटरनेट का रिपोर्ट आया था कि करीब 51 करोड़ इंटरनेट यूजर्स हैं इंडिया के अंदर में, and it is more than China, they said. And they said that in the last 6 months period, we have added more women as internet users in rural than men. So इसको देखकर अगर आप कूद गए बिहार के अंदर में कि इंटरनेट यूज करके आप डिजिटल पेनिट्रेशन के लिए आप करेंगे, तो आप तो प्रॉब्लम होने वाली है. क्योंकि this when we are talking about, we have to talk about what is the total number that we are talking. Then there are digitally laggard states, digitally advanced states. So states like, for example, I had just looked at this data where you said that there are states like Delhi, J&K, Haryana, Punjab. There the internet uses in the rural internet usage is 40% plus, whereas in West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha is lower than 30%. And so in rural today, still amongst the internet users, 72% are male, 28% are female. And if you are saying that women are a powerful consumer group, do you still consider just this 28%, or do you still think that it is? So allow time to have the Jio kind of a philosophy, Vodafone, Idea, Airtel, सब लोगों ने मार्केट बनाया, सबसे आखिरी में आए और उनको पूरा बने बनाया मार्केट मिला. Be the second player, don't be the first player. Be the second player. FMCG में है तो be the second player. दो सेक्टर है जिसको डिजिटल बहुत यूज करता है, BFSI and mobility. The Vodafone,
And
Airtel सब तो mobility, Vodafone,
mobility.
Airtel वो लोग use करेंगे because वो जहाँ पे customer है वहाँ पे उनका मीटर चालू हो जाता है. और BFSI आप देखेंगे, आप बैंकिंग में आप जितना यूज करते हैं बैंकिंग सर्विसेज के लिए आज के दिन पे, BFI सेगमेंट उसको यूज करता है. आपका DBT पेमेंट होता है, डिजिटल यूज करके पेमेंट होती है, राइट. आप ATM में भी जाते हैं, फिजिकल ATM में भी कनेक्ट होती है तो डिजिटल के थ्रू में. तो ये जो दो सेगमेंट तो जरूर यूज करेंगे, और इनमें से सबसे ज्यादा आपको डिजिटल नॉलेज सबसे ज्यादा मिलती है दोनों सेगमेंट से. FMCG लगाड़ है डिजिटल यूज में, तो आपको वहां से जो नॉलेज मिलता है उसको आप यूज कीजिए, डेटा को यूज कीजिए. इफ आई वाज टू यूज डिजिटल for creating awareness, I will first of all use it in state like Tamil Nadu, in state like Punjab, in state like Haryana. After proper research, district wise I will go district wise and trying to find out which are the districts which are, and then from that experiment I will go forward.
The best point I found in the entire discussion was just to first to understand what not to do.
Yes.
The moment that clarity is there with the marketers, that if they know what capabilities they have, what kind of infrastructure that can be supported, and if they have the entire understanding and the lot of understanding of the data, then they should make up a real great plan and look at the plan, test the plan, and then move to the other markets. If they find that whatever the learnings are coming, they keep on adding to the learnings and keep on moving.
The last point I would like to say that many finer points come out. Like for example, in COVID, the 2 points I missed. One, that restructuring of the redistribution model. The total wholesale has got reoriented, because wholesale वाला शहर में जा नहीं पाया माल लाने के लिए, retail दुकान वाला wholesale को जा नहीं पाया, तो wholesale by default got connected to the direct distribution of the company, which then he never used to use. डायरेक्ट वो यूज नहीं करता था, बोलते हैं मेरे शहर में सस्ता मिलता है, तुम मुझे क्या स्कीम देते हो. बट अभी जा नहीं पाया, अभी यूज हो गया. यूज होने से जब ये खुलेगा मार्केट, डू यू थिंक ऑल ऑफ देम विल अगेन गो बैक टू द सिटीज और द टाउन्स और द बिगर मार्केट्स टू प्रोक्योर? मे बी सम पार्ट, मे बी अदर्स विल स्टे बैक कि भाई क्या झमेला क्या करना है, घर में माल लेके जाता है. एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है. होलसेल इज अ वेरी बिग सेगमेंट. Similarly, Kirana is going to emerge as stronger and stronger and stronger, whether urban and rural.
Yes.
And I think though people said that digital hoga, log zyada maal kharidenge through online, etc. But I think at the net to net, digital has become stronger because of post COVID, and people are buying more from the near the shop. They do not want to go to distant places. So the घर का दुकानदार जो है, वो बॉम्बे हो या गांव हो, वो आज के दिन पे घर का पास वाला वो mom and pop store, he has got out of stock all the time.
Trust रहेगा उसका. Yes.
So these are very finer points, but I think bigger companies have a huge opportunity of collecting data, which they do. I am aware about it. They do and use it. Many of these data points are not available in the public domain. They may or may not share. But as a strong rural marketeer, our job is always to ask the question, okay, all these are saying I will do, but what I will not do. Then I can, whatever resources I will always be able to use judiciously and serve my categories in a more and more effective way.
Sanjay, you spoke about COVID. So what characteristic you will see post-COVID happening?
Right. So there are many narratives in the press as well as in different interviews. You will see one or two phases of these narratives. One was immediately after the lockdown happened, when the supply chain was disrupted. It took a little time for people to know. So at that time, there is a kind of narrative. It subsequently changed when the market started opening. But again, then the question was, which were the markets which were in red zone, which were in orange, green, and then which production centers were in which red zone, green zone. So I don't think you should look a lot seriously into those narratives in that particular period between May 23rd or 24th onwards. But as we approach almost 80%, 85% production of FMCG companies, things are more or less stabilizing. But there are certain things which has taken place in the market, which I think is going to stay for a while and may become a part of our way of living in rural areas. The first one of them is that many people ask me that will a smaller brand or regional brand which are cheaper or local brands, maybe counterfeit, will they have a resurgence because of the lower price at which they sell? Maybe the retailers will push it more. But one of the characteristics of any recession has been experience of the past that whenever such a thing takes place, there is a recession in the market, or people always go for trust. Whatever brand or products they use, they always have a lot of ear for
Yes.
trust. So trust will be a major factor. I think bigger brands are going to only gain, and that's something which so they only have to be keep their supply chain in place. That's very, very important. And I think as things are stabilizing, that will happen. Second peak, and post COVID, you will find that the bigger brands will come out even stronger. Maybe partly also because of this, local brands also have had their supply chain issues. So the adoption could have taken place. Yes, that's one. Second, there's that health, hygiene, and food. These are the three categories which will see a upsurge. They will see a higher velocity. Health, hygiene may find inorganic growth. People who are not using a kind of soap, they were not using possibly sanitizer, they were not using either not using or using less. That will find a permanent place in their basket of goods that they purchase. So that's one thing. I find inorganic growth coming there in the rural areas. Then price promote is not going to help. So brands which you try, product companies which try to price promote this product, assuming that if they make the product cheaper, more people will buy, this will not work. In no recession economy this has worked. Price promote, don't unnecessarily discount your product, thinking that it will get larger market share. In a market like this, if you are strong, you will continue to be strong, maintain your supply chain. If you are very close to your competitor in terms of your market share, try to see that you do not take out your share of voice if there is a ATL or BTL promotion. Normally, it is seen that if there are two competitors and one is with a little distance between each other, and during such a phase, the one which stops completely his ATL or BTL spends tend to slightly lose out once the market opens up. So, and if you are a big player, like you are at 60% market share and the next follower at 10%, then it's okay. There is this phase, most of the companies are cut their ATL, BTL budget. You can only sustain through great supply chain, proper servicing of the market, and you can survive. But if there is a little difference and you don't completely stop ATL, BTL, whatever you're doing, and your competitor is having a share of voice, then you may be in for a surprise after the market opens up. Normally, recessionary markets have had a time span of 12 to 14 months. So one should be mentally little ready that what one would do once the market opens up. So that readiness, that preparation, planning should start now, rather than being overspending time on supply chain. Maintain the supply chain well, but plan for future. Then out-of-home consumption, the product and categories which are in out-of-home consumption will come from a downtrend during this time. So, for example, I understand that some aerated drinks which are in bottles, and their sales have fallen down by 70 to 80%. Because people felt uneasy in drinking from a product pack which is reused. Number two, people stopped visiting markets, eateries, going out. Hence, out-of-home consumption categories really came down. I don't think that category is going to go up so fast. Another feature is that people have stayed in home. Maybe they will not venture out so fast. Even if they venture out, they will be very cautious. So product category services, which gives you a kind of an independence, like for example, you are traveling in a bus. So if you have a two-wheeler, you will use the two-wheeler more because you will be afraid that, you should not use a public transport. Similarly, any product or services which gives to the family a kind of independence away from a community, sharing something with the community, will have some velocity of sales. And well, Ramayana and Mahabharata, I keep on saying, it shows that the kind of traction they have, it's escapism. It's escapism because people are tired of staying. Also, there is a fear. There is a fear about what happens to my income. There is a fear about the future. So any kind of escapist treatment that television rolls out or services rolls out, seeing more of TikTok and WhatsApp, वो सब लोग इसलिए नहीं देखते को entertaining है. It also takes them away from the reality. So those products are a typical tendency during the recessionary phase. They have some kind of a velocity. So these are some of the things which I think will happen in the rural market as far as the FMCG is concerned. So the main mantra, if I will say, maintain supply chain, and that should have maximum attention from you.
Just to understand, let me try putting two industries. Let's say you have a cement industry at one, and there's another industry which is, let's say, cosmetic or these things. What dynamics you see in their changes happening in these two categories?
The category like cosmetics, confectionaries, apparels, I think that they will not have a traction immediately. They would not have. The category like personal packaged food, home care, personal care with respect to hygiene, they may have. But beauty cosmetics, etc., may undergo a slow movement for some time. Similarly, is for confectionaries. Cement, if you are talking about, cement is a very different industry. It is not FMCG. But having said that, but almost 50% of your new house gets constructed in rural areas. So that is why if you go to any rural villages, the 2 or 3 things which is very unique that you will see, एक तो एक सीमेंट का जरूर डीलरशिप वहीं पर होगा, और 2-3 गांव के अंदर में एक 2 व्हीलर का डीलरशिप जरूर होगा. ये सब आपको दिखने जरूर मिलेंगे. तो इतना सीमेंट का बिक्री क्यों होता है? Because people make new houses. It is not only for repairs. So I think those houses which we have had a good harvest, but because of the situation prevailing now, whether the farmer has got his money, number one. Number two, if he has been able to sell off his entire produce. Number three, after he gets the money in his hand, is he going to invest in long-term capital investment like land or house immediately in such a situation? Slightly doubtful. So those houses which were under construction before COVID, they may get completed. So that you will see an immediate surge in the sales of cement. Because they will take and try to, because they are not sure, again it might close down because of lockdown, etc. So you will see a surge, but subsequently I think that it will all depend on the people's ability to at this moment spend money on things like new houses. Even marriages may get postponed. Or I feel that people will be conscious about that.
And lastly, before we close, you spoke about what not to do in rural. If you have to just tell me points, what would be
So these are possibly I keep on telling, because when you work in rural, there are not many books which tells you what to do or what not to do. And a typical book will start with what percentage of population stays in rural and how big is the rural market and number, and so many public health centers. See, the numbers don't matter. The quality of the number matters. So the moment we talk about 70 crore population, somewhere in our mind we are saying is that if this many crores of urban population is giving this much of sales, 70 crores of area population will, that doesn't work that way, So there are 4 or 5 things which I have learned the hard way. And this also I have validated with my friends who are in the same industry. Number one is with regard to supply chain. Think before you rush. Whenever your boss tells you that boss हमको rural चलना है और अभी हमने 50,000 गांव तक पहुंच गए हैं और 25,000 पॉपुलेशन तक पहुंच गए, टिपिकल लिंगो दैट यू फाउंड. अभी हमने 10,000 तक सब मार्केट में जाना है, अभी 5,000 तक सब मार्केट में जाना है, So ये सब सिचुएशन पर you will take the census town list and then you have an agency and say that चलो अभी इतना bike salesman चाहिए, ये चाहिए. Typical carpet bombing we call it in management lingo. I think before you rush. Please understand that every need is not a demand. If someone in some village wants some X product, it doesn't mean this is a demand for you. You may spend more in servicing that. It's better to leave it. So you say then what do I do? Don't I serve that? If the competitor is he has so much of money, let him go and serve. So if I have 1 rupee and I have to serve 10 markets, I will selectively go to the top 3 markets, which will give me 80% of my sale.
Yes.
So how do I get to that intelligent data? I will go and service those three, and those three will subsequently will serve seven. Even if they don't serve seven, if my competitor wants to go to those seven markets, he will blow off that much of money. If it is costly for me to go, it will also be costly for him to go. Every company is not like a Unilever who has reached 1,65,000 village out of 6 lakhs. Many companies are at 50,000, 30,000, 40,000 kind of a seat. So from 40,000, if you go to 70,000, 80,000, please don't go on a carpet bombing. That's one thing I have. Second mantra was that don't over glamorize your offering. You see, please be very conscious that the rural customer, even if he has money, is very price, quality, and ease of use. That is his approach. So don't over glamorize, over decorate your product so that he starts suspecting कि ये इतना चाक झाक कर रहा है, इसका मतलब इसका दाम ज्यादा होगा और लूट रहा है मुझे. ये एक नॉर्मल फिलोसॉफी मैंने देखा है. So many companies have hence found out very attractive packaging, but they don't over glamorize the product. Third was that the third one is that if you have a sales force, or if you are hiring people, don't hire people who are very smart and upwardly mobile. You know, they may give you results immediately. They are very quick. They are very good in sales, very agile. But they have an eye to go to urban market. They want to have in that CV that served XYZ company, be very strong, and move either to another company or move away. It is good to have even mediocre people, no issues, but continuously who has a relationship building activity, and that relationship goes away along with the person who goes. So be very cautious about the kind of sales force and engagement force that you have got. The fourth one is that if you have a rural head, if you have a urban business and rural business, if you have a rural head, please take someone who has passion for rural and is not using rural as a career progression or a backward entry to the urban. He will always use shortcut methods to show more results within a specific period of time, and rural is one area where you will not know where the money has gone till the time after 2 years you realize कि पानी चला गया लेकिन result नहीं आ रहा है. Urban में immediate पकड़ा जाता है. Urban में your market audits are very more frequent. The ability to know what is happening, it's so be very passionate about the person who said that sir 10 साल में ये काटने वाला हूँ. I want to convert this into this. This is my passion, and you must see a smile on his face when he goes to a rural market and comes back. You might smile should get every time you should get some insights, some happiness in his market reports. The way he speaks to you, that passion must come out, and it should not be superficial. Don't use digital as an end. Today, digital in many of our initiative has become an end in itself. अगर कोई सेमिनार में आप बात कर रहे हैं, कोई भी इनिशिएटिव के बात उसको उसमें टेक्नोलॉजी और डिजिटल आपने बात नहीं किया तो आप you are not talking the lingo. You know, neither the public will like it nor the organizers that like it. Thank you for tolerating me, Ajay. So I think learn from others, other sectors, and check before you job. All that looks doable are not practical and may make a big hole in your pocket. So use digital as a tool, and use it very well as a tool, but not as an end in itself. Sixth mantra was that if you ever engage a village level entrepreneur or a village retailer, or you have got a village resource person, you appointed, many people have appointed farmers, progressive looking farmers to further their business. They do it because they have a lot of relationship building activities. I find there is a kind of marginal costing in this kind of अगर आप वो गांव में वो है ना, वो कर रहा है, ये चीज कर रहा है, उसको ये भी दे दो ना करने के लिए. गांव में तो है ही ना, चार फार्मर से बात कर रहा है, 5 दुकानदार से बात कर लेगा. अरे भाई 5 दुकानदार में कि वो सिम कार्ड भी हमारा बेच लेगा. अरे नहीं बेच पाएगा, ये सर्वे भी तो कर लेगा. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि the village level entrepreneur, I have learned it the hard way, he has it is not that he has a limited ability. His understanding of his business is very simple and clear. He wants to understand in simple language what product he is selling. He does not want complexity in his life. More is less here. More is less here. So and he knows very well whatever he sells to his fellow villagers, if something goes wrong, they will come back to him. So he does not want to deal with product categories which he doesn't understand. आपको शर्म के मारे कुछ बोलेगा नहीं. He will not tell you, but he will not do it. And you will at the end of the day keep on scratching. कह रहे हो गांव के अंदर है, इतना छोटा सा काम करने बोला था, वो भी नहीं कर पाया यार. तो उसको जितना कम काम देंगे आपका काम उतना अच्छा होगा. जो देते हैं KRA उसका फिक्स कीजिए, ये 2 काम तुझे करना है, अच्छी तरह से समझाइए, वो काम आपका अच्छा करके देगा. Then was that, then is that don't experiment unnecessarily with product and services about which you are not sure. If you have had a bad run, your product has been bad or services has been bad, and the retailer has burnt his, burnt his hands, or the consumers have. There was a recent survey which said that as much as 63% of women who has used a product or services and were not happy spoke about it either to the retailer or to a fellow household woman, saying that the product is not good. So please be careful. If you burn your fingers, you may find it very difficult to get back to that market again. Then last but one is spend time with your consumer. Rural is not a mass market. I refuse to believe it, because the more I go to rural, the more I learn. Only the point is that I learn from my own insights. I come back and check there are no books on this. In urban markets, you will find a lot many. So you need to learn, spend time with your consumers and not with dealers only. Don't try to secondarily learn from the dealers कि आजकल वो क्या चाहता है. हाँ, वो एक consumer point है. जितना आप consumer immersion करेंगे, आपका जो भी category है, आपको ऐसा सब चीज मिलेगा, तो आप you will go deeper down into the consumer side. If you are going to the rural market, it is better that you spend little time with them. And last point was that don't give up. If you have entered a rural market, enter after thinking well, but don't give up. I have seen many companies, many initiatives which is not in बचपन में एक आपने मैथमेटिक्स किया होगा, बैम्बू पोल के ऊपर में एक बंदर चढ़ रहा था. तो क्वेश्चन ये था कि हर 3 मीटर चढ़ता है तो 2 मीटर खिसक जाता है. तो टोटल पोल का लेंथ कितना है, तो कितना घंटे में उसको चढ़ेगा. तो वो रूरल में मैं वही देखता हूँ, 3 फुट आगे चले जाते हैं, फिर 2 फुट पीछे चले जाते हैं. लेकिन बोलते हैं हम तो 2 साल तो काम किया ना, इतना काम किया. अरे भाई, आपने काम तो किया, 3 फुट आगे तो गए, लेकिन 2 फीट तो पीछे भी तो आ गए. So that's what is the rural. A well service, good price, quality, convenience product will always get you a good market. Last, don't unnecessarily believe a lot of news or media reports. I find extremely predictable. Rural is going to grow 1.5 times of urban. मैं 30 साल के रिपोर्ट में आप ये देखते रहेंगे. ये हर वक्त हर साल में होता है और हर बार में ही सही है. तो उसको आप कोई गुड़ मंत्र मत बताइए. This may be for lesser for people who are new to rural, but there are many predictable reports which come. एक मानसून खराब हुई तो पूरा rural का सत्यानाश हो गया. Yes, for some categories may be, but some categories may not be. So if you have worked in rural area, create an intelligence, create your own knowledge system, and document it, check it, and your best knowledge partners are your dealers and your consumers, and not the outside world. This is very lot of not very high number of quality research has been there on rural consumer and rural market, and possibly there is an opportunity today with and I must congratulate you that you are doing this. And when people who have spent time in rural, they come and say, I give that much more value than someone who is who is writing about it as one of the initiatives that he writes about. I would trust a farmer much more than someone who has gone on what I call in rural tourism. But 4 days met to 20 farmers you meet and come back and write and say that I have been able to see the insight. Insight only you can see if you wear the lens, and your lens must be correct. You cannot see through the another lens inside. You may see it, but you will see it differently rather than what is the truth. These are some of the hard way of knowing rural. I thought I should share this with you. Anything else?
There is something else also, that the communication has to be very, very simple. If you complicate the communication, then again the what you're trying to explain or you're going to say is going to be lost.
Yeah. So the messaging part of communication, that's very tricky. The functionality of the product and the emotional, उसमें कितना % क्या रखेंगे और क्या बताएंगे और किसका लिंगो क्या होगा, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, योर प्रोडक्ट. तो प्रोडक्ट का जो विजुअल है, जो पैकेजिंग है, वो कितना कम में आप कितना ज्यादा बात बोल सकते हैं. कलर तो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, वो अभी तक रूरल में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Some companies have cracked it really well, and some have not been, have still been learning.
Yes.
But it's a knowledge economy. It's fascinating, the kind of knowledge people share with you. When you go to the village and talk to every time you come back with a newer insight, and you check it in another 4 markets, you find the same thing happening. And in every socio-cultural regions, SCRs, or different regions, you find different kind of experience. So how can you say rural is one set? How can you say that it is one mass? Yeah, you can argue that it is difficult for me, for this particular mass, to manufacture a commercially viable product. That I will agree. That I will agree. But is it so? Is it so for all categories? Are we taking a easier way out? Are we taking an easier way out because it is convenient for my company to make one product, like multinationals make one McDonald's item same all over the world? So SOP bhi ek ban gaya, sab jagah mein roll out karna bhi easy. It is convenient to the business. But think, is it convenient for the customer? I don't know. I convince the customer it is good for you. That is because it serves me. But whether consumer wants, so that is why you found that finally paneer came into the basket of offerings of one of the pizza companies in India who came from internationally. They were never putting paneer as one of the ingredient in their. So how did it come? It come finally. They had to bow down to the local demand and local test. With respect to migration and the unskilled labor which is coming back to the village. Can allied dairy, poultry, this kind of allied agricultural activity can give them a sustenance. For example, my friend Sodhi, the MD of Amul, he was once telling us the key Sanjay 15,000 crore government ne diya hai dairy sector ko, and 15,000 crores can add almost 500 lakh liters of milk per day. And for that, to produce that kind of a milk, you will have, it can benefit almost 30 lakh farmer families. 30 lakh farmer families almost is 1.5 crore people. Now, where do you get this kind of equation? And in a tested module. So the rural supply chain of milk, egg, they are very well established. Today, India has become the largest milk producer in the world. It is because of supply chain. And we talk about vegetables, we talk about fruits that we do not have a supply chain, that they cannot reach the farm. But look at the milk. Milk is more after it leaves the udder of the cow. In 4 hours time, milk becomes sour. Apple doesn't become sour in 4 hours time. But how is that we are able to get that to the production plant within 4 hours across the country, and we have become the largest milk producer in the world? Because there is a farmer or market linkage. So that being so good, I think it's a new invitation to possibly look at the farmer producer organizations, FPOs, as to create a supply chain where a large number of the migrant population can be absorbed in their villages themselves, and it gives cash to you the same day or the next day. Which business will produce that? Even farming does not give you, agriculture does not give you that kind of money. So I think that's a very precisely a very important point in the migration as well as creation of rural livelihood. Maybe we are looking at Amul or FPO, the Farmer Revolution #2 in dairy. If government has the same, it's very fascinating, very, very fascinating. Some of these models we get tired with because people have been talking about wahi village level society, wahi Anand pattern, but it's not so. Something which has proven to you and made you the biggest milk producer in the world, something has to be good about it. Until today, companies find it difficult to fight with it because you are so strong. The farmer producer organization and the farmer market linkage, which these models have proven, is a very, very solid model both from the consumer perspective and the farmer perspective.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And bye-bye.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you. Very lovely speaking to you. And I must congratulate you that you have something, a special magazine as well as a engagement for the rural market. Very, very novel. And considering that it is such a big part of Indian economy, hats off to you to have to be continuing with this. I wish you all the best. May you prosper. May your magazine prosper and do well. It will benefit the entire community as a whole. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you, friends, for watching Mr. Sanjay Panigrahi with so much of insightful discussion. Rural marketing has been bringing a lot of insights with talking to various people. And friends, in case you have any questions, please mail me. Our leadership team will be more than happy to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.